You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from Gilligan's Bamboo Golf Cart Repair Shop. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Woo! So nice, we did it twice. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Second time around on the opening. That's fine. We can do that. That's all right. Kids like that.
Yeah, you think I would have fucked up less the second time around.
You know what I mean? The first time, Bob, that was gold.
Yeah,
It was
I nailed
gold,
it.
And no one's ever going to hear it. Ah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the voice of my brother Bob. He's on guitar.
What's up, everybody?
The guy playing the cough trombone, that's my buddy Jay.
Fuck you, Bill.
Thank you, sir. And then over there we got Ed.
What a day. Felt like I couldn't sell ice water in the Sahara.
Okay. And then that's it. That's the show's over. Ed gets the
Thanks,
last word.
Ed.
Thanks, Ed. That's the last word. Fine, fuck it.
Damn.
This is episode 165, and we're back. We're still alive.
What about Bob?
Well, Bob's here. Bob
Hey.
got introed first because I threw it to him because he spoke first, so that threw off the rhythm.
Right.
I don't know, I was too busy laughing at your fuck-ups.
That's good too, though.
I thought you were too busy choking in the background.
Oh, yeah.
It's about the same sound. It's roughly the same sound,
More or less.
more or less.
And you realize, Bill, when he says "fuck you," he's saying hello.
That's how
That's-
he shows love.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's his language, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, right over there.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's J-E's.
J.E.'s. So, this is episode 165. We're going to get to some nerd news and maybe some pop culture reviews, movies and stuff like that. We're going to throw a chat room game for kids to play. People want to send in emails. There's still time if you're listening live.
Oh,
We
yeah.
do it live every week, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, mixler.com/wicked-theory. Come check it out. If you're listening to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, one of those.
Mixler.com/wicked-theory.
Theory.
Oh, yeah.
That's disgusting. So if you want to send us an email, podcast@wickedtheory.com.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, we're on Spotify. You could also leave us a voicemail if you like voicemail stuff. You got to go to the wickedtheory.com website. There's a red tab that pops out from the side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. DC TV Report. The
Oh,
plug
yeah.
for that. That's an in-house show. Preacher vs. Preacher. That's another in-house show. People like those kinds of things. Go check out those shows.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another
Wow.
DC
You
TV.
think we were a fancy production company?
You know what I mean?
Another DC TV report drops tonight if you're listening live.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go check it out.
New Preacher. We reviewed the Batman the Animated Series episode, Pretty Poison.
Pretty Poison. Gee, I wonder what that's about.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what that episode, whose origin story was in that episode.
Well, it's Poison Ivy
What?
poisoning, seducing Harvey Dent. So
Oh.
before,
Oh,
you know.
pre-Two-Face.
All right, damn, you said it.
That's not the thing I was
he-
trying to not give away.
He
but
can
all
say it
right.
because he's not on the staff at Gotham.
Or DCTV.
Yeah.
Really. I'm on staff, but it's like in a supervisory role. So, anyway, so now that the main plugs are out of the way, one of the things we want to let people know is that Uncle Jay's resuscitating an old friend of, in a sense.
Yeah, it was an old page I used to have called The Real Thing.
The real thing. Spelled like movie reel.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that's adorable.
It's also the name of my uncle's video store in Belleville when he tried his hand at doing a mom and pop
Nice.
video store, so it would be called The Real Thing.
We're gonna
I
have
always
to-
thought that it was actually...
We're going to have to revisit
thing.
that. We're going to have to revisit that.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
That story.
It-
We've
it-
never heard that story. We'll come back to it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
at some
anyway,
point.
real quick, The Real Thing is... I used to have a movie news and rumors website many years ago.
Right.
That's been defunct for, well over a decade. Ed
Yeah.
was still 10 back
Sure.
then.
I was probably in high school.
But my friend here, Wes Weezar.
Yes.
So we got two Wes's now.
Oh, boy.
We got Wesley Gaskins,
Yeah.
whose attendance record is impeccable.
Sure.
And we got
sure.
Wes. Wes is in the chat room now, so
Right,
say hello,
right.
Wes. Wes is going to run the show for me over there. He's
Nice.
gonna. So what we're doing now is just going to ask all you guys
Yeah.
to chime in, and it's not just movie news and rumors and shit. Now it's just whatever we talk about here, you can talk about over there.
Yeah, same kind
Feel
of topics.
free to post away. Just leave religion and politics at the fucking door.
Yeah. Leave that stuff.
You know what I mean?
Even if it's involved in a movie, maybe.
Yeah, that just goes without
focus
saying.
on other stuff.
Same thing. No politics, no sports, no math.
You can talk about sports over there if you want.
And math.
And
math. You're
You want to throw a fucking geometry problem in there? We'll work it out.
your mileage may vary on that. You might
But,
not get some hits, but
Wes is a really cool guy. I've known him on
Sure.
the net for 15 years now. It's got to
Nice.
be even close to 16 years.
right.
So Wes, thanks for joining the chat, coming in here, and maybe we'll get the family to mesh a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll do, we'll make, we'll be. Thank
A
you.
little something. Yeah, so definitely. I mean, the real thing on Facebook. I'm guessing, that the actual web address is just slash.
Yeah, the
real thing?
It's the real thing. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I think it's a closed group right now. I'm going to open that up a little bit.
All right.
and,
Yeah.
And see what happens.
There you go. So people, go check that out. You'll see Uncle Jay over there hanging out.
Yeah.
Stirring up the conversations.
Whatever you get here, you're going to get there.
Yeah.
In post. But since I've been, busy doing other things,
Yeah.
Wes is going to take care of that. For,
Yeah.
you
He's
know, for
gonna.
me.
You'll see him there.
And
probably a lot.
he's an awesome guy. So
All right,
good
cool.
to have you here, Wes.
Very cool. Thanks for coming in hanging out in the chat room, Wes. And anybody listening at home, you can check out the chat room too. If you come here and listen to us live, and sometimes when we, not sometimes, but every time, we give the kids a chat room game. So this time we're giving them superhero games as the chat room game to play
I'm
with.
preparing for the examples.
How about like backgammon?
Backgammon and Fantastic Connect 4.
Right. It's better than regular Connect 4. Sometimes it's on fire. Sometimes it's invisible.
You know what? I'm having a drink after hearing that.
All I know is no matter who wins, it's clobbering time.
There you go. There you go. That's what you have
I
to
have
say.
to pour another drink.
And winning is definitely
I'm
not.
going to give him a bell for that, actually. Fuck that.
And
Yeah.
winning is definitely not a stretch.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So,
Now that we've covered all the bases.
now that we've milked that joke to death, in the only 4 ways
I'd
that you
rather
could.
watch Corman's Fantastic Four and
Oh,
hear those
man.
jokes again.
If there's no Herbie, I'm not watching it.
It's great doc though. Doomed.
Doomed.
Yeah.
Doomed. So yeah, kids, play along with that. Palmer's not here this week to throw it into the chat room as a reminder, but kids, it's superhero games. So feel free, make up your own, combine a superhero and a game of some kind.
Yeah.
And now, since we're warmed up and iced, got a cool, refreshing beverage. Jay, what's the beverage of choice tonight?
No, we're doing a little Bacardi Solera, but since you think I have an alcohol problem, I have to cut it with Pepsi.
Okay, it's better than cutting it with cocaine.
Well, let me finish.
The night is young. So
That was Jay back in the 80s.
hey, I'm sorry. I might have gotten distracted. So let's roll into some news. Let's just,
1989.
let's newsified as fuck. All right, news time.
We're going to change that intro to After Forever, Bob, so you have to start learning that.
After forever, huh?
That's a great fucking song, man.
I'm not even sure I know it.
Oh, it's from the Master of Reality album.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There you go.
So, Bill, there's a Legendary announced that they're going to be co-producing a live-action movie that I know you were very excited about.
Oh, I was so excited
you were
about it.
telling me
You're
all
such
about
a dick.
this.
You're such a dick. Now I have to explain that. So Ed's going through news because I didn't have anything in there, and he's like, "What about this Gundam movie?" He's like, "Is that like a big deal?" I'm like, "Yeah." But I probably should have said, but not for me, like for people. For
you said-
people who love that thing, they love that thing.
No, you were like, yeah, that's a big deal. Yeah,
like,
that's a
I said like Rain Man.
yeah,
Big
that's
deal, very big deal, big deal.
Like,
big
all
deal.
right, then,
3 minutes to Whopper.
and like
3 minutes to Gundam.
The problem, Bill, you said it with such authority.
Right.
It was almost like
I was kind of multitasking at the time, so I
And I
vaguely
was like,
remember
oh,
how I said it.
Then I immediately thought, like, oh, Bill knows everything about this property, so I should just put this news in his feed.
And then I explained to you that I don't, and it's still here in the document
Yes, it is.
as if it's my thing to bring. So anyway,
Because we
kids,
don't have a lot of news.
So anyway, kids, yeah, well, that doesn't mean we have to jam it. I mean, we could just not have news.
I got news.
Yeah, I know. Well, who said no one said we didn't have a lot. No one said that no one didn't.
Oh, I got a lot.
I know. We're gonna get to you. I'm trying to explain some Gundam bullshit that I don't have no idea what it is besides it's robots.
So basically, what you're saying is you really don't care, but
Yeah,
Ed is making it seem like you do care,
yeah.
but you don't want anyone to think that you do care.
Because that would just be fake, and I'm not gonna pretend that let me tell you everything I know about Gundam.
Well, you don't like Robotech?
I like this stuff, but it's not like it's like something I grew up with. I've never read a Gundam. I've never seen a Gundam. I've never built a model. Like I know of it. I know what it is.
Yeah, but there's people out there that do like it.
I
They may want
know.
to
That's
know.
Could you?
But I don't know. But that's it.
Okay, could you compare and contrast it with Voltron? What's the difference between Gundam and Voltron?
Okay. Well, Voltron is like it's 5 robots that form up, and one dude's the head. I'll be the head.
What's the difference between Robotech and Voltron? 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years of the timeline, probably. It's like, so with Gundam, I'm not 100% sure, like how different the actual main stories are, but I know that it's like, they're in these giant fighter jets, basically, that transform into robots. The robots, as a mass, are called Gundam, much like you would call just Transformers, they are Transformers, or Cybertronians if you wanted to be obnoxious.
Okay.
But the Gundams, I think it's just, it's mech. It's just all this, it's another variation of the mech stuff.
Okay.
So it's similar to Robotech. I don't know if it's a direct spinoff. I don't know that much about it, never seen it. So, therefore, I wasn't going to cover it in the news because my knowledge is limited.
Mm-hmm. But it's happening, and we're getting a live-action version of it.
And we just got 2 minutes out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
There it is. You see that?
See that? Let's see if someone's coming to my rescue in the chat room. I saw someone mention Voltron. Voltron was the inspiration for the shitty remake called Power Rangers. Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. There's that aspect where it's like, it just keeps on xenomorphing into the next thing or zodifying into the next thing. So, Voltron, I think, wasn't cats. I think the cars came first because there was cars in Voltron. There was a
The
version.
Lions, I think the cars were after.
Cars are after the Lions?
I believe so,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
And then there was one time where they joined all together in one movie.
Okay.
Well, so Power Rangers was live action.
Well, no. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is that, like, if you follow the company and how it was
okay.
always 5 people, a black, a green, a red, a yellow, like, it's the model and the mode that follows through. And it just keeps, like, shit. They just keep tweaking the model.
You all
over at
realize,
Bandai or whatever it is.
You all realize we have Godzilla to thank for all this, right?
Well, radiation does that,
Yeah. What was his name? The first one, the first dude that grew out. He did
Ultraman?
Ultraman. I couldn't remember his name.
Sure. I mean, some of the
He's
stuff,
just basically the start.
Yeah, I mean, that's I don't know who's but kicked it off. You know what I mean? I think Astro Boy actually kicked off a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's the earliest one I get. They like Astro Boy and Speed Racer. Those are like the
Those are the
earliest,
first two
Right.
like real anime things.
or at least
There was another
they rolled back into the black and white era.
at least anime to be imported into America.
There was also another mech show when I was real little because we had an Aunt Jean who lived not far from here, and her next door neighbors were Asian and they were friendly and they offered me, and whenever we were over there when I was little, they offered us, hey, come on over and watch our shows.
Right.
Because they had
Sure.
the cartoons on at night,
And
and
they
the
were
whole
better-
family,
yeah.
the whole family sat around the TV because it was one of the only things that they could all watch that was
Right.
Asian.
Sure.
So we would watch it, and it was like the most amazing thing when you're 6 and 7.
Right. Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I can't remember it though, but it was another flying robot thing.
Yeah, you don't forget, you had Astro Boy, you had Gigantor at that time, too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of those
Yeah.
imports.
Right.
I guess you want to call it that. So, all right, that's cool.
Right. So James seems to know about this stuff. He's like BattleTech, because that's the other one, Robotech and BattleTech.
Right.
So it could have been one of those. BattleTech is everyone has a Gundam robot. That's the thing. Like,
I can
you know what
just
I mean? Everyone
imagine.
has a Gundam.
I
has
can
their
just
own robot.
imagine
What?
the conversation James and I have with a bottle of hooch. Can you imagine the fucking banter that would come out of it?
What I like most about that scenario is that it doesn't seem to include me.
No. We try to include you as
James
much as
Jeff-
possible.
I think it would kind of be like drunk history.
Yeah,
but,
maybe.
But like drunk everything.
Yeah.
Drunk anything.
Like, why does Hooch have to be involved? Why can't you have that nice conversation?
Because I enjoy a good drink.
Yeah.
Well,
Why,
what if it was?
why are you a 30-year-old man calling it hooch?
I don't. Because I'm using his terminology.
Yeah.
What if you would?
I know it sounds
that's
weird
true.
coming from his
It just sounds like from him it should be a 1920s
whiskey. Can we have
What if you did it over some green tea?
Well, you want to see me aggravated right away?
Some
term. Let's just all do Tai Chi while drinking chai tea.
Yeah, some iced chai tea. There we go.
All right, I got some
I
news.
was being sarcastic.
Bill, I'm moving on. In fact, let me sit down over there.
Before we
Bill.
start talking about deli sandwiches.
So just to put a button on it, James says, "Yeah, Jay, we could do that." As far as that hanging out, I mean, he's far away. You'll have to drive a bit, but
I don't
you guys
care.
get together on the side. and
He's
make it
down
happen.
south, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where the old man lives.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Oh, maybe you'll make the rounds.
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely.
The J World Tour coming soon to a town near you.
Anywho,
Anywho,
so we got some casting rumors going on.
hot casting rumors.
I'm going to start in McFarlane land.
in McFarlane Land.
Because Spawn, we know this Jamie Foxx Spawn, where he's the supporting role.
The Spawn movie,
where-
not about Spawn,
yeah,
really?
because we can't call it Twitch.
Right. The Twitch solo film. The Twitch spinoff.
Anywho, some interesting casting rumor here for Jeremy Renner to play Twitch.
Right, and it is kind of interesting.
That
It's not who you would think if you look at the character, first of all.
It brings my attention span up to this a little bit more, I have to say.
Yeah, it does kind of shift the idea of what's what they're going for. It does kind of like say, ooh, he's obviously a get. First of all, casting wise, he's obviously like a get,
Right.
But that he's a different kind of body type, and visually, like maybe they're not going for something as bookwormish.
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously, in general, because it'd be weird to watch him be like bookwormish and awkward at the level that, at least visually,
Right.
like I can see him maybe doing a character-esque personality thing, but like the real thick glasses, the big fucking over ridiculous sized mustache, the weird hair. You know what I mean?
It's like
they're
you-
doing a rework on this guy a little bit, I think.
It's like you're doing a Commissioner Gordon movie and Batman.
And if they're gonna do Twitch like
With
that,
Batman
is
in it.
like if he's gonna be Twitch, what is The Rock gonna be Sam? Like
Who knows, man? That could be cool.
a juiced up Sam in Twitch? All right, I'll take it.
All I know is that's kind of cool, and
Kevin
that
Hart.
gets my attention.
Kevin Hart.
I always said if you got some good star power and you got some really good credentials of directors and writers
absolutely.
behind this kind of shit, you might have something golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was funny. I'm looking at images of Twitch, and he looks kind of like, at least the comic book version, looks like a homeless alcoholic version of Egon from the Real Ghostbusters
Sounds
cartoon.
about right, especially with McFarlane's drawing style. Like if that's
Yeah.
McFarlane's ultra weird.
That's exactly what I was going for.
Let's not start.
There you go. All right. Yeah, Bob. I can't believe you've been doing that impression all these years. It's terrible.
Yeah, right.
It's terrible.
That's why I don't take credit for it.
Fair enough. By the way, spot on though.
So the very
Today not that great, but in the past, very good.
So the very first
Yeah.
casting rumor for Star Wars Episode 9 came
Hot
this week.
casting rumors.
So we all know J.J. Abrams is back in the director's chair.
Yep.
So Kerry Russell,
Yeah.
Felicity.
Is she bringing back the curly Felicity hat?
Felicity. Oh, but she did work with Abrams in Mission Impossible
Yeah, they
3.
go way back. It makes sense.
She's in the first 15 minutes of that movie.
Sure.
Yeah, she's an Abrams staple.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's in a
Yeah.
lot of his stuff.
So she's in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes too.
Yeah.
Another independent film called Waitress. Anywho,
Yeah, you've heard of it.
this is, and the thing is, I'm sure it's true.
Okay.
I'm sure the casting rumor like this is true. So it looks to be like Kerry Russell is going to be the first, new addition
Right.
Yeah.
to Episode 9.
Is this her?
Yeah.
Would this be her first work after The Americans? No, she's got to have something else in the pipeline.
No.
But,
Let me see
There's-
if I can
there's-
beat you to the IMDb punch here. Oh, I did.
Whoa! It's a race.
You know,
I like it.
there's whispers of her possibly being Ray's mother.
No, it is. The Americans is her latest credit, but she has done
Right.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Free State of Jones.
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the Americans just celebrated its last episode. They just
and that's a
wrapped
show
up.
that is so lauded that I feel that's one of those shows on TV that I feel like Oh, like I really have to check that out.
Yeah.
People just have bent over backwards insisting on how good that is and stayed.
Well, for Kerry Russell, this is a nice gig.
Yeah, I think she might make a couple of dollars, and maybe some people will see
And
it.
she's a really good actress, too.
Oh,
so,
she's top notch. She's
so,
tops. She's tops. When she was over my house a couple of weeks ago, I was like, Kerry, you should do like a science fiction thing. And
Yeah.
look at this.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet this rumor is really fucking true, and
yeah.
just a hair away from a sign.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, so
feels
that's the
right.
casting rumors.
Hot casting rumors. That's the new jingle. Does anybody like it?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
How's your drink?
It's all right. It's a little salty from all my tears now.
All right.
Let me go get my violin.
Is it tiny?
You want to move on?
Yeah, sure.
So another movie that's starting up.
Yeah.
Everyone's gearing up production.
Yeah,
So Margot Robbie,
I've heard of her.
in a random interview, saying that the Birds of Prey movie will be looking to start filming in January.
Yeah, this is the Star Trek spinoff. That and there's
about
going to be
Klingon.
All female Klingons.
Yeah,
and they all fire while cloaked.
You know what's funny? I just realized Klingon warship is kind of like a redundant phrase. Like, weren't they
Bird of
all warships?
Yeah. Well, it's the Klingon Bird of Prey and the Romulan Warbird.
Oh, don't
That's
get them mixed up.
A bird of prey cannot fly when she's cloaked.
Yeah, see, that's gonna get you punched.
Cry havoc.
But with back to the matter at hand with Margot and the Birds of Prey stuff, because something else. She was like, "Oh, it's going to start shooting soon." I think, right? Like she also kind of gave up a start date. I think this week. Not that that matters because we weren't invited to the start to the filming, but that's good. There was something else.
Yeah, well, I mean, she didn't give specifics, but she really talked a lot about how there's a lot of unexplored female characters in DC that are unique.
Yeah.
Not just superpowered characters, but just other characters in general. She doesn't really go into specifics and name certain people.
Well.
But if it's Birds of Prey,
Yeah.
you're thinking that you're gonna have Barbara Gordon, whether it's Oracle or Batgirl.
Barbara.
It's probably gonna be Batgirl.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah, we could have
I
Huntress.
knew that would get you.
We could have Black Canary. Spoiler. A lot of different ones.
Oh, that's the name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I almost want.
No. I hear you.
Yeah, I almost wish that Birds of Prey, it wasn't just Harley they were going up against. We can get Poison Ivy or
It seems,
Catwoman in there. Do like a.
Are we gonna get the main line of we're gonna establish some? Because I think that's the thing. Like they don't want to establish like who's gonna play Catwoman in this new DC verse? Are we gonna establish that here? Or are we gonna be cool enough to really do that?
Well, I mean,
Dreamcasting Catwoman. Who do you want?
the
Olivia Munn. That's what I heard.
Yeah. No, the suggestion came out. I forget the actress's name, but
Yeah.
she was in Baby Driver.
Oh, okay.
She was John Hamm's girlfriend.
Yeah. She's new. She doesn't have a giant body of work, but
So Dina Meyer and
she's
Ashley
incredibly
Scott
hot.
ain't coming back?
No.
Okay.
What'd you say, Scotty Too Hottie?
Ashley Scott and
Oh.
Dina Meyer were the, was she Helen Kyle or Helena Kyle?
Oh,
There was a
from the-
show called Birds of Prey
Yeah,
years
it was
ago.
on for like 3 episodes or something.
Something
I
like
think.
that.
Yeah.
14, I think.
Yeah, it got
Really?
half.
That long?
It got half a season.
I apologize. I didn't mean to insult.
Yeah, this is the old days of the WB. Isa Gonzalez was the actress I was thinking of.
Oh yeah.
There have been rumors that she was up for Catwoman that have not been confirmed.
Oofta.
But
Yeah. Anyway, good to know.
So yeah, I'm excited, and this is a movie I think DC Entertainment should be making. Like this is
This is the
You know,
kind. If
as
it's
much
done
as-
right, yes.
as much as I gripe about all the Joker movies and everything else.
Yeah,
Like
obviously,
I think this is a step in the right direction.
this feels like the thing that I agree. This seems like a project that
Yeah.
if they're looking to do something outside of the box but build this world at the same time, this is like I think the perfect way to do it. All right. So also some sad news. This
Yes. Yeah.
week. Why
Why is this funny?
Why did I
Why-
say it in a funny way? I don't know. Did I say it kind of humorously? Fucking. Fucking. I'll play Jaga.
What did you?
I'll play sad music. I'll play Jaga.
What did you just have a random flashback of a time you got laid? Was that?
Yeah.
Remember that time that chick? Oh man.
And Steve Ditko was there.
The ghost of Steve Ditko. So great Steve Ditko's ghost.
Yes. Yeah. Two passings. I feel like we should mention. Both.
Please do.
That's
Both.
the Bears coach, right? No, that's Mike Ditka, sorry.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Sorry. Sad. I'll put my sad face on.
So, writer Harlan Ellison and artist and writer Steve Ditko. Ellison was a writer mainly, lots of short stories, but he also did some great television work in the 60s and 70s. And novels and such. I loved his essays. I first discovered him when, do you remember Sci-Fi Buzz? You remember that show?
No, I was working that day.
So it was the Sci-Fi Channel in the 90s. Like
It had one episode, I guess.
yeah. No. They had basically like an Entertainment Weekly, but for Sci-Fi news.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah, it was a weekly show, but they basically gave every episode. They gave Harlan Ellison 3 minutes to scream about something.
Yeah, he was like their what's his name from 60 Minutes.
Yeah, like they're Andy Rooney.
Andy Rooney.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, but
Crazy old guy yelling about shit.
I just remember him being this crazy old guy screaming about Ron Mars Green Lantern.
Like, did he like it or no?
Well, he hated the fact that they made Hal Jordan go crazy.
He ate his fucking rings. I don't understand how it's physically even possible. You can't swallow a power ring. That's where I draw the line.
And he had 5, right?
Yeah, he had one for each
But
finger.
the thing, like, that man knew how to be angry, and that man knew how to hold a grudge.
Yeah, boy, did he.
And he wrote thousands of short stories. Some greatest sci-fi and fantasy work, also lots of mystery stuff, and just his personal essays. Probably the work he's most known for, he wrote City on the Edge of Forever, which is pound for pound, I would say, the best episode of the original Star Trek. He also wrote a lot of Outer Limits, Twilight Zone. But the Outer Limits episodes Soldier and Demon with a Glass Hand are particularly good, but those are also remembered because he famously sued James Cameron for stealing the idea for the Terminator from those, and ended up settling, and his name is credited. It was added to the credits with respect to the works of Harlan Ellison.
With respect to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I read it one day. That's what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was a big advocate for creative rights and for
pay the fucking writer.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen that bit.
Yeah.
I watched that actually not that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
right.
Yeah. So he passed away at the age of 84. You will be missed. And Steve Ditko. So someone else talk about Steve Ditko.
This is your territory.
I've babbled on long enough.
I can help you out.
Doesn't mean that you got to stop. So Steve Ditko was actually one of the co-creators on Spider-Man, right? Or did he just have a legendary run?
No, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange.
Remember we did that thing way back when with the costume?
Wow, yeah, right. So Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko, Spider-Man. Legendary run.
Spider-Man. He was involved with Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a list in front of me. He's one of those guys from Marvel during that era. Created a bunch of shit with Stan Lee.
Basically everything Jack Kirby didn't draw.
Right. Basically anything that Jack Kirby or Joe Simon didn't have anything to do with.
Yeah.
It was Ditko.
Right.
Yeah.
But Ditko had a long run on Spider-Man where, if I remember correctly, I don't know if he ended up leaving like in a kind of disagreement kind of thing with Stan about where the book was going, but I don't think he was writing it at the time with Gwen Stacy. No, drawing it. He didn't go that long.
No,
that was somebody else. I think because I'm imagining the art style. I'm picturing the art style very different.
Yeah, I think he had the first 100 issues.
Yeah, which was, kind of it's like legendary in its own right for the run that he managed to pull off back in those days. But yeah, that's all I got. Unless you got a bio in front of you, I got nothing.
Co-created Doctor Strange. Then he went over to Charlton and did the Blue Beetle and the Question.
Right.
So without him, there's probably no Rorschach or Night Owl.
Right. That's true. Good point.
And I just very strange. That just very quirky, odd, different style.
He had a really kind of, what's great about his early Doctor Strange was it's set in the classic kind of real, like, hippie, far out man kind of, mod era where, he was a perfect fit for that book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To try and, draw up all this kind of real kooky shit in the background. And don't get me wrong, looking back at some of it, it's not the most amazing shit. It's just like, okay, that's just like some checkerboard stuff that twists around. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like maybe earth-shattering in its design. But, product of its time.
Yeah. And
I got nothing.
yeah, it was. Yeah, but and also he was famously a recluse, kind of like
Right. That's a thing. Yeah.
I read an article today. It said that when they found him in his apartment here in New York City, he'd been dead 2 days.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That is a thing that he was legendarily known for. Like a lot of this, like you never saw him in any of these retrospectives about comics, really, or anything about Spider-Man.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? He kind of washed his hands of the whole thing. So that's why I always figured he had some kind of must have had some kind of bitter send off that was like, he got pissed at somebody. He was like, "Fuck this business."
I thought in more than one documentary when they came to talking about his work.
Yeah.
They basically said that we tried getting in touch with him to get quotes. And
I think there is a doc about him, and I don't know if he's in it.
There's a doc about someone trying to find. I think it's called "In Search of Steve Ditko."
Right.
And Neil, because I'm looking through Neil Gaiman's Twitter, and he's there at the end when they meet him, but I don't think he doesn't agree to go on camera.
Okay.
So that's why like all the pictures you're seeing of him are from the 60s and 70s.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna mourn the loss. And it's
I just think maybe he didn't want to lose his New York City apartment because if it was rent controlled, he was probably paying about $5 when he moved.
He was
in.
afraid to leave it. Like, so if I walk out of this thing, someone's gonna slip right in.
Well, a woman finally passed away recently. She had the cheapest apartment in New York City. It was $26 a month.
There you go.
It predated plumbing.
How about that?
Okay, so
She's been pissing in a bucket all this time.
yeah, actually, she has been. She never got plumbing. She kept it the way it was. She was a little nuts, but
She was old-fashioned.
she made sure that she hardly left the house to make sure that she never had to worry about someone sneaking in and messing up stuff.
In
Hey,
a bucket.
bedpans work.
You just throw that shit out the window, right?
Right.
That's all.
Well, that's how they got everyone else out of her building,
There you go. There's no bum sleeping out in front of my brownstone.
right?
Brownstone, get it?
Here's just 3 tweets from Neil Gaiman. That I think.
Sure.
I had heard rumors that hoped they were not true. Thank you, Steve Ditko, for making my childhood weirder. And thank you, at Wassy, who's Jonathan Ross, for taking me with you when we went in search of Steve Ditko and found him, a kind man who gave me comics. Without Steve Ditko, there would be no Spider-Man, no Doctor Strange, no Creeper, no Hawk and Dove, none of the black and white reprint comics I read in seaside resorts as a boy, no The Question, which means no Rorschach, no Mr. A, no mystery. Steve Ditko has his own true ideals. He saw things his own way and gave us ways of seeing that were unique, often copied, never equaled. I know I'm a different person because he was in this world.
Okay.
You will be missed.
Yes, rest in peace.
So, with that, I guess it's a great time to run a promo.
Yeah.
Promo. Spotify?
No, so actually, we did a promo exchange with some friends of ours over at Super Live Adventure podcast.
Oh,
And we sent an ad over there, and they sent one over here.
Well, you guys did. I wasn't there.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Jay was excluded. We decided that.
I know, that's
He
why
was researching dry cleaners.
Yeah, you were on assignment. I
That's
think.
why I wasn't here.
You were here that day.
We recorded it
You're
on
on
a
assignment.
we recorded it on a Friday, and Bill didn't want to call you.
Well, I don't like that.
It's not how it went down.
I think it was
Not how
it was
it
on a weekend.
Oh, I know it's not. I know it's Ed's fault in some way.
And if it's not, we will say that it is. Okay?
But go ahead.
Fair enough,
I'll
fair
sit this out.
Thank you, sir.
You can lower my mic.
Well, I mean, I'm going to anyway because I'm going to run a promo in a second, but that's not because of anything else. So anyway, Super Live Adventure podcast. These guys are good friends of ours. Ed's been on the show, so these guys have a lot of fun. And
I'm going on that show.
You'll probably get a sense of that from the promo. So let's just run.
Hey everybody, this is John Saluga.
And this is Chris Sorrentino.
And together we host a weekly podcast called
Super Live Adventure.
Comes out every single Monday. Where can people find it?
You can hear us on iTunes, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio. Basically anywhere you can hear a podcast, you'll find us.
Always a good time. Tell a bunch of funny stories. We're just a couple of nerdy dads.
We like to have some drinks on this podcast. In fact, we ring a bell every time we open a new drink. So you can drink along with us at home.
Plus, we have a lot of amazing guests that stop by the show. It's always a good time. Hope you check it out. Go to superliveadventure.com for more information.
Fit it where you should it.
How the fuck am I not on that podcast?
Well, I always describe I think the best way to describe them is they're like us if we had kids.
Which doesn't help, but
that might be a fiasco if I go over there.
yeah. Because you're gonna walk in like, you know what I mean, like, I think we're gonna give just the bell a workout and just kind of like hook up a foot pedal so you can just
I'm
tap
gonna
it.
reach out. I'm gonna reach out to them this week and make that happen.
Actually, the thing I will say, because Chris's son, Chris Sorrentino, is the biggest Ghostbusters fan, at least in New York City. Like, the guy decked out his cube to look like an Ecto-1.
Okay.
Wow, that's commitment.
But his son, he gets into a rivalry because his son kind of put Ghostbusters to the side and is a huge Gremlins fan. Like, loves Gremlin because
why are you telling me this?
So I'm just saying, if you're gonna go on that show, there may be questions about Frankie Mogwai.
I don't know him all that well.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is that, like, since you did do that legendary interview, people just kind of assume. It's like how everyone assumes Lois Lane must know Superman.
Well, do they know him?
They not yet. But when they find out that you've actually interacted with a real-life Mogwai, it's going to be a thing.
If you want to call it that, sure. I call it a real-life Jagaloon. Piece of shit he is.
He's going to hear this.
All right.
And before you know it, we're going to start getting emails from him if we're not careful.
I know. All right. Well, keep that in mind.
I mean, I'm sure they'd be entertaining.
All right.
Just saying. All right. So anyway, Super Live Adventure Podcast. Check out those guys. If you dig us, I think you'll dig them, is basically what it comes down to. So with that, I think it's time, though, to go back into the chat room and see what these kids did with that crazy chat room game.
Yeah. So the hashtag was apocalyptic kid shows.
Nope, that was last week.
Okay. So the hashtag was superhero games.
Yeah, I don't know where you got how did you even see that?
Because when I scrolled down to the list.
Oh, the list. Palmer's not here this week. So we're reading it straight from the chat
we're
room.
reading. Oh.
Yeah.
You should have told me. I would have actually.
No,
okay.
I mentioned it.
You're supposed to mind me.
I mentioned it, but I guess I didn't insist or really make sure that
Why isn't he here?
Because he's got people in from out of town.
I don't give a fuck.
I understand. And trust me, like, he's the closest thing, we have to an intern. So
it must be Stephanie.
No.
It's not those people?
Like, no. I don't know who it is.
Then it must be family.
Is his papa here?
Papa! Papa!
Opa!
I think, but look, in all honesty, all I know is that that's literally what he told me. So, I mean, he could be lying.
I'll fucking call him right now.
I mean, I'm just not going to take another road trip out there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he could be going to a whorehouse because Stephanie's not around.
Okay.
But, not him.
Captain Critical in the chat room just told me, just let me know that the game was a bust. So thanks,
Okay.
Cap.
Well, we do have some.
No, I know we have some.
Yeah, we have Super Bat Brothers.
Yeah.
Legend of Hulk.
Sure.
Little Big Ant-Man.
Little Big Ant-Man.
Deadpool's Pro Shooter.
Gotcha.
2. And that's it.
Okay.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's my fault because I didn't realize I should have.
No, but but even the guys in chat room are like, nah, dude, it was a tough one for the kids.
I'm gonna give you one every Thursday. I'm gonna submit you a good one.
Listen, the document's open all week.
Yeah,
people can
right?
come in. People can come in and do whatever they. People can come in and do whatever they fucking want.
Katharine Hepburn just walked in the goddamn room.
I'm trying to think now. There was some other actor that kind of talked like
it
that.
It sounded like a scene from Network.
Thanks, Captain. Captain's letting me know. See, Bill, it was a bust. Thanks, Captain.
I need another
There's
drink.
There's no creativity in there. I mean, you got.
Well, I'm not going to throw it at anybody. Trust me. Like I'm always waiting for it to be a bust. How many times have I made these games where I'm like, good luck, guys. Like I don't know what you're going to do with it, and they shoot it out of the park. You know? So I guess law of averages states that sooner or later they couldn't, and I think this is the only one time I think they really it didn't work out. Was it the game?
Well, how many
these
people
guys
got in the
always,
chat
because
room?
these same guys always pull it off, so you can't say, hey, they're not creative.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
No, I
I'm not saying that they're well. But I guess I was.
Something in the air maybe
I'm
tonight.
going to refresh my drink.
We'll wait.
All right.
I'll keep the show going.
I think
okay.
I think that bottle is empty enough that you could pour the rest of that bottle in there and put a straw.
Do a little transfer. Do a little transfer.
Well, yeah, he's putting it all into a glass. Now, big bottle is half empty and soda bottle is half
Want to
empty.
snort?
A drink.
Yeah.
A drink.
Yeah.
Please.
Be careful we say snort.
Please. It's no cocaine in the house, all right? No cocaine.
No.
Wrong button.
Wrong button.
Wrong button. Let's try this one.
Meanwhile,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ted Knight.
Meanwhile. So, meanwhile is where we kind of hey, in the formation of the show, the only reason it has segments is because way back in the days, we found ourselves talking about the same kinds of stuff. News stuff and stuff that we've consumed, watched, not consumed like food, but watched or read, viewed, emailed, snail mailed, Morse coded, whatever it might be.
All entertainment we've ingested.
There you go. There you go. Thanks. On the button. So this week, I finished Luke Cage season 2.
Wow.
Finally.
Yeah,
Bob
me too.
Bob too.
Yeah. Yeah, I just managed to put mine in there just so.
I see that. Good stuff. But I knew you were covered.
Right.
So so I'm gonna say I liked this one better than season 1.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In general, I had more issues with season 1. Here I didn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say, oh, it's a perfect fucking thing, 10 gold stars. But I mean, it's pretty high up there. I liked it. I had fun with it. You know what I mean?
Pacing was a lot better. There were periods where it felt like, okay, this is filler, but it wasn't bad filler.
Yeah, they used that time wisely in a way.
They used the filler creatively because when I say filler, there's not a lot of action going on.
Right.
There's a lot of exposition, which is not normally this show's forte.
Right, fair enough.
So, like when you see Finn, right? Not to give anything away, spoilers, because I really can't, because not a lot happens in the episode.
John Boyega's in it?
Right.
Finn?
No, wrong Finn.
Oh, wrong. Oh, the Finn Jones.
Finn Jones,
Okay.
right?
Finn.
Sorry.
That part of it, there's like a good 10 minutes where they're doing absolutely nothing on screen.
Yeah. He comes in and it's basically like, let's be Zen for a while, and it's like, oh, okay. All right.
So you see them sitting in barber chairs with their legs folded,
Literally Zenning it up,
and the whole thing and the whole 9 yards.
All right, there. I got Jay pouring booze in my cup.
Yeah. Well,
Sneaky rabbit.
you're not driving home, so
That's true. But I'd still have to make it to the couch. But
Right.
So I agree with you. Yeah, like this season, there was a couple of surprises where it was like just character setups from season 1.
right. Even the whole, I'm sorry, even just really quickly,
I'll
even
let
the
you wrap
whole, even the whole Finn thing was tied into something that a tidbit that they laid earlier on a couple episodes previously,
Right.
with another character.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? It was an issue that the whole reason of him being around was brought up, because of what happened a couple of episodes before.
Right.
Right. So they tied it together. So things weren't unimportant, and they could have been more on another show on another channel.
Yeah.
They're unnecessary,
Right.
and you wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So it's a toss-up because sometimes it's like, oh, okay, we're really sitting down and getting this out, this emotional thing. Sometimes it's like, oh, I didn't expect them to kind of go there. And like you said, like this show on another channel would have been like, all right, we'll spend 2 or 3 minutes on it. And here it's like, no, we're going deep. We're going to go deep on this shit that you were waiting on.
Yeah.
But not with Finn. I just mean with all the characters.
Danny would have stopped by for 5 seconds to see how he was doing on his way to Rand Industries.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what most people would have got.
Yeah.
But It's very solid. If something happens and there is no more Luke Cage on Netflix, they tied it up perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
They
mean,
left it in a good place.
it's in a I'd say it's
know
in a
there's
place where
probably
you can walk away from it. You could walk away from it,
Yeah.
but it does leave a lot of like, oh, what happened? Well, what's going to happen now? Kind of. So it's not
Right, well-
cliffhanger, hard cliffhanger, but it's definitely like,
Right.
like this is an interesting setup that he's left in. Like, you know,
Right.
not to give it all away, but yeah. So
Right. Well, you could leave the daughter hanging. That whole
yeah,
thing.
I'm not talking
You
about the
know what I
daughter. I'm not talking about the daughter. I'm talking about him. I'm talking about where he's left at the end of the season. Like, you know, it's not like
Right.
It does tie up the whole storyline, but it does position him at a different point of, you know, his story. So, you know,
Right.
you'd
It
be-
could conceivably keep going.
absolutely,
But-
absolutely.
But if
You
you
know.
decided, if they decided, okay, this is the last season.
Yeah, you'd be good enough with that. No, I
well,
hear you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm good enough that I might not even come back anymore.
Right, that's what I was going to get
You
to.
know
'Cause
what
I know
I mean?
you said that to me the other day. You were like, I think I'm kind of good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
You know,
Not to
it's
knock
a, it's
it,
a very,
but
it's
like,
a very,
yeah.
it's a very good show. I'm just not feeling it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the season. If I'm not doing anything, I'm not saying I won't watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm saying I
Yeah.
don't know. How
Well,
I
James
feel about coming back
James has
to
got a
next
good
season.
point that I agree with too, and it kind of dovetails to what you're saying. You know, they could leave the show where it is at right now and just use him in other shows.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Which would be an interesting thing because his position is different.
Right.
Not to give it away. So to see how maybe like he would pop up in other shows, like
Right.
where he is now as a different kind of status, and then like maybe
Right.
like
That would actually be-
then kind of get back to his own show.
That would actually be kind of a cool MO to do on Netflix in general, so that when people get tired of seeing one character in
Right.
10 to 12, 13 episodes,
Right.
they take a break and they focus on another character and another story. And then as people get tired, maybe you rotate back to, you know what I mean? Maybe you build a roster big enough where you can do that kind of thing.
Right. It's like
You
saying
know,
like
you have
well,
4 main shows running, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and then you bounce 8 characters. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Through the idea of having 4 shows running all the time.
Right, not everybody needs to have a season every calendar year. Like you
Right.
could say, like, you know what,
Right.
take a break with Luke for a while, let his new kind of version
Right.
kind of appear and pop up, and maybe it's like, you know,
Right. And then you
know.
can always get back to these things that you kind of leave hanging. You know what I mean?
Right. So
It's Power Man.
it's Power Man.
Power Man, yeah.
It's Power Man, baby.
There's a couple of good well, there's one good reference with
There's
this.
a lot of good references to the old stuff.
I
you know.
enjoyed Power Man and Iron Fist as a comic book back
Sure.
in the day.
Yeah, yeah,
I wish we saw a little bit more of that
DW
kind
makes
of,
a few.
yeah.
not exactly tongue in cheek, but it was definitely a product of its time. I think.
Oh yeah.
That team up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was so 70s.
Now, I will say, I know Iron Fist appears in Luke Cage season 2.
Right.
Does he suit up? Does he appear in costume?
Who appears?
Iron Fist.
No.
Not in costume.
I mean,
No,
like,
no
I mean,
one-
I don't know how much you want me to give away
Then they've-
because
then-
Bob, because you know, because it's sprinkled in there enough here. Like,
then
you know,
they've still failed with that character.
well, I mean, like you have to watch that to
Off
decide
mic
that.
discussion.
Was that. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we can get into it more.
You don't want to
later.
give it
They
away.
I
referenced
don't wanna-
the original
for people.
70s costume.
I'll just say.
Yeah, but he's just kind of chilling. He's very much hanging out. Okay, we'll just say that.
Because I personally,
Yeah,
the thing that bothered me most with Iron Fist in his first season
is that
and
you
in
really didn't get a
Defenders,
costume.
You get the costume. And
I
it's
mean, like if that's the most, then I'm like,
But you don't
still-
like this guy
You mean,
anyway.
There's
you mean
a lot
the
of-
purple pants and the glowing yellow
the,
shirt?
Yeah, the green and yellow.
Well, just
Hey man, if Daredevil suits
Was it
up,
green and yellow or purple and yellow?
he's yellow. He's green and yellow.
if
Green
Daredevil's
suit, yellow sash.
if Daredevil's gonna suit up, there's no reason for Iron Fist not to.
But you have a problem with
No,
the actor
I'm sorry.
too. You
I
don't
was
like
thinking
this
we're talking
guy,
about
right?
Power Man.
Fair enough. Power Man was like blue pants
All right.
and yellow shirt.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan of the first season of Iron Fist.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't either.
No, but you didn't like him. I'm saying.
Yeah. He was a big problem for me too for a season.
Yeah.
A little bit
Yeah.
for that show.
Yeah, and I don't think that's his fault. I just think I don't know
I
if he
warmed
was
up to him here. Like when he first pops up,
Okay.
I wasn't exactly like feeling it. I was like, oh, this guy, man, like, you know, a little bit. But
Yeah.
like, he settles into it. I think like they shot him fucking the first day, and he was like a little cold maybe because when he
Oh,
first
okay.
shows up, it's like, I don't know if this guy's got chops.
It sounds like the production of the first season was rushed, and he didn't have time to fit into that character.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And maybe
Oh,
the
yeah.
Defenders kind
Yeah.
of, because I hear that he's better in the Defenders.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is because you know, for a bunch of different reasons. But yeah, he is. He is a little better in Defenders, and I feel like here, where I end up getting with him, he is better. Like he is a better actor. He is better. I'm saying when he first comes on here though, Like, it was just kind of like the scenes were weird, and like, he was just like, it's a little kind of like an odd space, like a kind of a thing. So I'm like, oh. But then, like within a couple of minutes, like, no, I'm like, all right, this kid's cool.
I'm just drawn back to the conversation you guys had when you reviewed the first season.
Fair enough.
That you had a problem with him. I remember that.
Yeah. And again, I don't think that was his fault. I think when you look into the history of the production of that first season of Iron Fist, he wasn't given the opportunity to succeed. They set that show up for failure.
Because
basically.
he's in the Texas Chainsaw prequel, and he's actually pretty good in it. You know what I mean?
And he's in, and he's not like he doesn't have a lot to do in Game of Thrones, but he was in Game of Thrones and he was pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? And
I only saw the first season of Game of Thrones.
And I think he's a good fit for like visually and like, he's for where Danny is at that age in his life. You know what I mean? I see why they picked him. Like, you know what I mean? I just felt like, that first season kind of fucking did him wrong a little bit. Maybe, because of the rush nature and, probably some bullshit on the set. But if this is a peek into, how they're going to kind of, Danny's going to have a little bit more personality that feels like natural, you know what I mean? Then this is the good thing. Because then what we saw here was good. I liked Danny in this. I liked Danny in this by the end of it more than I liked him in his first season. I'll put it like that.
Oh, Danny boy.
He's been putting in more work.
The fights are calling.
Pipes.
He put in more work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At times, the fight scenes seem a little bit like he'd been rushed.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the fight choreography too, because
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking he's not getting the time he needs.
Yeah,
it might be enough time normally for most people. Maybe it's not enough time he needs.
Yeah,
could be they're trying to rush. We don't know, but just slightly though. I mean, he's a lot better with this.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
So I think hopefully when we get another season of his show, by then he'll be up to speed.
Yeah. That's the
because it seems like it might be a really good season.
Yeah. So
give it up for Finn Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Give it up for Finn Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Finn Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Finn Jones.
No hard feelings.
We're gonna be hypercritical about your career, even though it's much better than where we are in life. Finn Jones. Okay.
So
we're gonna be complete douchebags and talk behind your back.
So what's this other thing you got in here, Bill?
So I got this other thing. I picked up this book, man. Fucking, it's a little bit in Bill's wheelhouse, but this is Logo-A-Gogo is the name of this book. This is a tome, but this is Ryan Hughes is a graphic designer and artist and illustrator, and he is like the man when it comes to like a million comic book logos that you've seen all over the place. He's been working in the comics industry and like all kinds of design stuff for a long time.
I know of him.
But if this is a great, like, if you're into graphic design in general, because he goes through process on some of these and he shows variations of logo concepts and all this stuff. But it's it's not cheap. It's a hardcover. It just came out. I think it's like $25-$30 at
least.
It's
$45.
$45. I got it on Amazon, so it's a little cheaper. But if you flip through that, you'll see like he did the current like redesign of the Marvel logo, and although it's like, it's process stuff, so it's like to the naked eye, you'd be like, well, what did he change? But he points out like, it's just these three things over here, but like it's like, all right, like he goes through the aesthetics of why certain decisions are made and things gets rejected and his career overall. And what's funny is to actually see like the stuff that like, oh, I've seen that everywhere. Like you did that too. And as you go through, it's like, oh my God, you've just fucking done everything, this guy. So
he's kind of like how I felt about Saul Bass.
Yeah.
Because Saul Bass is kind of like him in the 50s, 60s, all his kind of crazy designs.
Right.
And I love logos and stuff too.
Sure.
I really do. Just real quick, next time, let me know. I might be able to get you, $15 maybe.
Oh, you got a little hookup with the Amazon?
Well, let's just say...
or the back of a truck Enterprises?
Let's just say it's missing from B. Dalton.
I got you. From B. Dalton.
Yeah.
Well, this is new.
Remember,
this
Bill,
is brand
he lives
new.
in Newark.
That's all right.
Okay, fair enough. I just thought B. Dalton might have been shut
down.
down.
All right, Walden Books. Is that better?
No.
No, it's not better? All
That's
right.
even more closed. my those Walden Books are like...
Walden Books was
classic. That's like where it started.
You needed a pipe to walk in there.
You really did. A mascot. So, but...
I remember that in the mall. That was the only place to run straight to.
Yeah. I spent 3 hours at a magazine rack about a quarter mile long. Like, I didn't know there was this many magazines. Anyway, so Ryan Hughes, Logo-A-Gogo, if this is the kind of thing you're into, I know like Chad NV's like a little bit of a design guy, so maybe him.
Guys.
But this guy from Valiant's relaunch in the last couple of years, like he's done all of their logos. He's done so much for Marvel, so much for DC. He's got the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo. But it's just kind of like if you're into process at all and kind of into graphic design, it's great. Like just in general. My only quibble about the book
Oh, here we go.
is just that the body text is just a little small. And it's just like, for a graphic design-oriented book, I would have thought this would have been a little bit easier to read.
Yeah, you ever see like the size of those art books?
The main text is
Just
tiny as
yeah,
fuck.
it looks like the fine print on a contract.
It really does. It really does. And I get it. Like, you want to be able to kind of squeeze this in and let the logos be big and really fill up the page. But
And I wear reading glasses that are times 2.
yeah.
See, I would laugh at that, Bob, but I'm starting. I think I might need them too.
But this does not help. But I'll tell you that much. And what's interesting is that like it's at the same size as like when you see like a decent sized picture and then below it's like 8 by 11 watercolor. Like that's the same size font for the giant bodies of text in it.
Trademark.
So
Trademark Sam Jones.
so yeah, just to kind of
Yeah, that is ridiculously small.
yeah. So he's got some other projects in here. It's not just comic book logo title logos. He's got band stuff. He's got other clients and businesses. I'm just trying if you read Outcast or you've seen Outcast, that series, like he's got that logo in here. Bitch Planet.
Young Sherlock Holmes I saw in there.
He's got
Bitch Planet. That's my ex-fiance's house.
The Spirit. All this kind of stuff. Justice League, Batman and Robin, Man o' War, but I don't think it's the band. I just saw it. No. Oh no, it is the band.
Let me see.
Bobby's like, let me see that.
Yeah, that's them. That's them. I saw it. Yeah, that's them.
That's them. So finally, I found a connection here for Bobby.
80s metal.
There you go. He did that back in '84.
Yeah.
I feel like I knocked my mic out. Nope, there it is. So anyway.
Wow, he did it back in '84. He probably did that for next to nothing.
Yeah. Back when he was a wee lad.
Yeah, that's back when that band was pretty much broke still.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure he was at the time too. Like, I was like, I was probably a big break actually.
It could have been.
So with that,
They're monstrous. I'm sorry, they're monstrous in Europe.
So that's my recommendation. Ryan Hughes, Logo-A-Gogo. If people want to check that out.
Currently at Walden Books.
Currently at Walden Books.
$44.99.
$44.99. Or from the back of a truck.
Well, you see me on the side.
If you see Uncle Jay, he's got a case of these.
What about Borders? Borders. There we go.
No.
Well, at least that survived longer.
That's I think that's politics, Ed.
Yeah. No one liked Borders. No one liked Borders.
No, you're right.
That's why it went the way Gimbals.
Yeah.
It felt like a crappy B. Dalton's. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
B. Dalton was the first to go, though. Walden Books did survive.
For a little while. I think they might have bought up B. Dalton's.
I think they merged at one point.
Yeah.
Corvettes. Do you remember Corvettes?
Corvettes.
I used to go in there. They had the little place there where you'd sit down. You'd have a tab with the lemon.
Right. It was like J.C. Penney's with a luncheonette.
You'd get the 2 hot dogs and the potato chips.
Oh, boy.
All for
boy.
$2.
Kresge's $5 and $10.
$2.
So,
Well, Grace Papaya, you can still do that.
yeah, but Grace Papaya garbage hot dogs.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
just
but
be
at
honest.
4 in
Let's
the
be
morning,
honest.
after you're all tuned up.
Any hot dog is a good hot dog.
Yeah,
at 4 in the
exactly. I had a
morning.
hot dog before I came here, Chief.
If
Speak
it
for
doesn't
yourself.
snap, it's crap.
Gray's Papaya is the primo.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You think they're
No,
using
I
high-end
can't
hot
agree
dogs
with
in
that,
that
but I
place?
do agree that it's really damn
It's
good.
like
They
Gray's
used to.
Papaya and Papaya King.
I'm offended at the use of high end and hot dog in the same sentence. No.
You think that you're getting the highest
Yeah.
possible quality
Well, we got-
on the grade of hot dogs? I'm just saying. I don't know.
What is it, Sabret? Is that the
I'm just
high
saying,
end?
if they're selling them
Yeah.
for 50 cents a piece in Manhattan, I don't care how much volume you're doing.
really.
You're using
I think you-
medium.
I think you get monkey
50 cents,
assholes.
those were the days.
Yeah, no, but just like
Yeah, I know. They're not even that cheap anymore,
No.
right? What are they, $1
But
finally?
the thing is, like, I like a nice little burnt edge to it.
yeah,
Well,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And,
And
they are cooking them on the grill. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. It's not
and
boiled.
and with the skin on it, and
Yeah.
you get that like
Snap.
See, I
snap.
feel like they don't use those.
I
though.
agree with that.
I think you're getting like a turkey and tofu dog over there.
Yeah, basically. I feel like you don't get the snap on a Grace Papaya.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah? Okay, then I take it back.
Yeah, like
All
that.
right, maybe they are using casing, dogs with the casing, because I feel like that's critical.
I
That's
think
the
I
thing
think
with
the
a good- with a
difference might.
good hot dog.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Bill. I'm thinking that The difference might be what's in the casing.
That's true too. Not so much the casing itself.
Lips and assholes.
The difference of like a pig's asshole and a
Snout?
monkey's asshole. You know.
No, there is.
You
there
saw
is.
that movie too, huh? It was Great Outdoors. Dan Aykroyd. Lips and assholes.
Snout. Who doesn't like snout?
There's nothing left on that plate but gristle and fat. He eats the whole thing.
That was my grandfather.
That's the Rapid Old 96.
Grandma Sweeney.
Grandpa
Rest in
Aliata
peace.
too. I remember we were in spare ribs, and he was like, "There's still meat in that." And I think he meant like that layer that like when you have spare ribs, and it's like that, that's the closest part of it to the bone
Yeah.
that comes off, like it peels off.
Yeah.
Like he meant that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I've seen people just put it
He
right in
would
their mouth.
eat
and-
roadkill.
Yeah, you know, but you know he was a Sicilian, so
Yeah, so that's what
it's
they
fucking
did.
anything to survive.
You got to see my cousin Matt eat wings. That's all I have to
I used
say.
to, I
he
used,
chew the
no,
bones?
I used to go crabbing with him out of the fresh kills, which is
That's
right next
nasty.
to the dump.
That's nasty.
Okay,
Yeah,
an
I trust
outclosed
it.
dump. But when it was open,
Right.
Right. Until one day he's like, you know what, these are starting to taste funny. I'm not going to eat these anymore.
Now they sort of taste funny.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's like we go at night
Yeah.
because they glow.
But he ate
and
the
they're
whole
easy to
batch of
find.
fucking 35, 40 of them that he had just caught.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on along here, it's Jay.
Yeah.
You all right?
No.
No, definitely not. I think you're on fire. I think you saw Sicario 2, Day of the
Day
Salazar.
Day of the Soldado. I saw this as well, but Jay, you talk first.
Yeah, Jay.
I'm just gonna say one thing,
yeah.
and I'm gonna move on from it.
Okay.
Taylor Sheridan, fucking God bless him.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's that?
He's
For
the
those who don't
writer.
know.
He's the writer of these films.
Okay.
This is. I'm glad someone like him exists in this time
Okay.
because his scripts. I mean, I think he's 5 scripts. This is
Right.
the same guy that wrote Hell or High Water, the first Sicario, Wind River. We spoke very highly of that film last year.
Yeah, he wrote and directed Wind River, and he wrote all
Both
the others.
Sicario films, and my mind's a blur now because
Also the
alcohol is going on. Showgirls 2, I think he did,
And Leprechaun 6.
and Leprechaun 7.
yeah,
Seven,
and Yellowstone,
He-
the
He's writer and director. There's something called Yellowstone. But the fact is Sicario. I don't know if you've seen that.
The first one I saw.
The
yeah.
first one. I know
Yes.
you just watched it.
yes.
And I was a huge booster for that film
Yeah, it's
because I
really
thought it was
good,
just
man.
really fucking good. So Josh Brolin made his 75th film this year
Congratulations.
in form of Sicario too.
Okay.
But the fact is that these two characters, man,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just watch these movies all fucking day and night with these two guys.
Just doing anything.
It's gritty as fuck. It's really fucking good, and it's a tight story. Taylor Sheridan makes a really tight story. It's a really, really tight script. It's really gritty. Espionage film, cartel stuff. I don't want to give too much away because
right.
I want people to sit down in the theater and just watch this and take it in. They really made a damn good sequel. I don't think it's as good as the first film, but I don't think that's anything to do with his script. I think that's direction because Denis Villeneuve did the first one. He did the Blade Runner,
And
2049.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but is there enough of a separation between these two films where they can almost kind of be completely separate films?
They
Like
can,
you
but
could almost watch them independently
it-
of each other?
Well, yes and no.
Fair enough.
You should know Benicio's character in the first film. You got to agree with me on that.
Yeah.
You need to know him. You know what
It
I
helps.
mean?
That helps a lot. Okay.
And I love the no nonsense of Brolin in this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
he does that pretty well.
And it's definitely my wheelhouse of film.
Right. Oh,
So,
just a little bit.
I would like to see more of these going on with them together.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Because it's that good. So this is a stash for me. I don't know how Ed felt about it or not, but these are really good movies.
Right.
I think Ed touched the fact that this is kind of like a character that you would want to see as the next James Bond, not the next James Bond, but more of like
Yeah, I said
Yeah, Bond.
he was like James Bond, Jason Bourne, like Parker, like
He needs a series.
but more
like-
realistic.
Right.
yeah, like I'm totally surprised that this is like there's not already 15 novels written about this character.
Right.
Like,
He
it
feels
seems,
like a pre-developed or rich kind of depth.
So when it's written for the screen, it's kind
Right.
of like almost a gem.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because now you're getting a character fresh on the screen.
Yes.
Kind of a thing. And I was
It's
pissed
gotta-
off that Benicio didn't get nominated for the
last one.
first film.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to get nominated for this or anything like that, but I think that this is a solid action movie.
Yeah.
And gritty from beginning to end. There's not a dull moment at all. Never did it lose me.
Right.
So this was solid. This is what I like. It's a solid R.
Solid R.
All right.
And Brolin is he's really damn good too. Definitely, I was hoping they wouldn't kill him off in any kind of way. And, I'll leave it out there.
That's a good question to leave people hanging with.
But I really just enjoyed both of their performances, and they're two of the main reasons why you should watch it.
Nice.
So that's good. Thank you for the coaster.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, it's the first movie, Sicario, is told from Emily Blunt's perspective.
Right.
And
She's not here this time.
she's not in this one, which makes it a very different kind of film.
Sure,
This
absolutely.
one's much more from Benicio's standpoint, and also from Josh Brolin. And Josh Brolin, up until this year, I was not hot on Josh Brolin. I always thought he was kind of stiff and wooden, and I've kind of come through the other side with him this year with he's done like 6 movies this year, but
76.
yeah.
But you could kind of be dismissive with that, like stiff and wooden is what he does in a way. It's like
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean.
it's more-
If that's the right way to put it,
I
but
can't
don't
agree
think-
with Stiffen. The one thing that brings me back is I remember him in American Gangster with Denzel.
Right.
There's a Ridley Scott movie and stuff
Right.
like that. He was really good in that because he was playing like a real, like, edgy prick.
Somebody-
but every time he was on screen, I
Yeah.
wanted more of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he actually personified that 70s shitbag detective
Right.
that I really liked in those movies.
Yeah, because I was going to say is that maybe the thing for Brolin, though, is that, like, he's taken on some of these more quieter, stoicer types.
Yeah.
And more recent stuff. You know what I mean? So that might be where you're getting this kind of feeling that, like, of the wooden thing. It's because, like, he's super strong, almost silent type kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, you know what I mean? So I could see where, like, you might get that kind of a thing going. But in this... Well, you were leading somewhere with that, and I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I cut him off, actually.
Well, I cut him, and then you cut me.
Yeah, I was just saying in here it's more about being understated. Like you can see his character's thinking on the inside, and there's an angle that he's going for, and he's intentionally putting up a front, but like that he actually does care about this.
Right.
Even if the perspective is warped, it's still there.
Right.
And I mean. I was very impressed with this film. I also do think that the first one is better.
Yeah, me too.
But this one is just different.
Right.
It goes in a different way, in a different direction. And it's coming at it from a different angle. And I'm not going to spoil anything here, but like there should be a third one, and I hope Sheridan directs that.
Yeah.
I hope they give him the reins with that, or because the what's his name?
The character?
Stefano Salima, who directed the second one, has already said he won't do Sicario. He kind of wants it to be like Mission Impossible, where they bring in a new guy every time.
Well, that's interesting. Just in order to kind of try and keep it, guarantee that it stays fresh in a way.
A more
Yeah.
grounded
Yeah.
Mission Impossible. That's
Sure.
what's
Yeah.
cool about these movies.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that they're all realistic.
Well, that's the thing. This is CIA kind of machination stuff,
Absolutely.
but it's more in line with how that shit really happens, as opposed to like a Tom Cruise romp.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't mean it was anything like Mission Impossible.
No, I know.
I just meant in the context that
of,
up until this last movie, they bring in a new director every time, and they put their stamp on it.
Sure, absolutely. So, so now moving along, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It's Marvel Studios. It's a lot of fun. Cash.
Like, what else do you need to know?
What else do you need to know? Exactly.
Is it as fun, if not
yeah,
more
you know
fun
what?
than the first one?
And the thing is this: I don't compare Marvel Studio movies against other Marvel Studios. I don't think you should do that.
No, but I mean,
You know
I
what
think
I
it's fair within a series of movies. So that's why I'm only
I
comparing
don't
it to
even.
the first one.
I don't even. To the first one.
Well, that's
yeah,
what I mean. Like in a
understand
series
it.
of films, then I feel like that's a fair ground.
A part of me has always wanted to know what Edgar Wright would have done
Okay, yeah,
with
well,
this.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of lays stagnant.
Yeah, it's
you know
hard
what I
to
mean?
walk away from that
within me
completely.
and shit like that. But the fact of the matter is that they made Ant-Man work.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just a lot of fun. This is more of that.
sure.
You know what I mean? It's
That's what it
just
seems like,
it's
yeah.
fun. It keeps the this is what Ant-Man is doing during the Infinity War.
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Right.
It's a little bit more dare I say lighthearted in a way, you know what I
Okay,
mean? But
okay.
it's adventure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
this is, definitely the kind of, summer fun
Right.
that you go to do, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what it's doing. And I thought I knew the ending. Actually let me rephrase that. I knew the first
The first ending.
the first end credit scene.
Okay, fair enough.
It was going to happen. I didn't know in what form it would take.
Right, but you knew that was.
You know what I
thing was
mean?
coming. Okay.
But it was cool
okay.
in the same breath. You know what I mean? So
Big
that
smile.
and
Big
I was,
smile on you
and
right
the thing is that I wanted that and I got it.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean?
cool. That's
So yeah, it's fun. It's you're not gonna. They're fucking just unstoppable at this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of crazy.
It's my bookie.
That's well, important.
So
thing.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like. I love Michael Douglas, man.
Yeah.
He's just a guy that I've loved for years, and he really has some fun. He gets some stuff to do in this one too. I felt. But yeah, this is fun. It's just as fun.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
You saw it too? Or no?
I did see it as well.
Okay.
And it's a cash. It's good. It's solid. I actually feel like it was much more serious than the first one. You still have those comic moments in there.
Sure.
Michael Pena has his stuff, but the stakes were higher, and it felt more of like a straightforward Marvel movie.
Right.
Kind of in that sense. The action's good. Ghost is an interesting villain.
Yeah, it was cool.
Walton Goggins is in there, and I was
I forgot he's in it.
yeah, and it was funny. Like, well, I didn't know Walton Goggins because I didn't see any trailers, so I didn't know
Okay.
Walton Goggins was going to be in it.
Nice.
I didn't know Lawrence Fishburne was going to be in it.
Right.
Which thinking like that guy should be Perry White. Anyway,
Fair enough.
and they both turned in solid performances. Although I think they could have done more with Goggins, but whatever. He does his job.
He's great in it, right?
And he's great in it. It's not the best Marvel movie, and it's not a bad one either. So
Right.
I would say this is a light cash, but you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it sounds like it's a success on all fronts that they were trying to get for that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's all you can ever want from a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's staying true to itself. Because,
Yeah.
the idea with this is that, it is a little bit lighthearted, more, a little less. Sometimes the Marvel movies like to kind of like dabble into like the ultra seriousness or like, yes, bad shit's fucking happening, people dying or
Yeah,
whatever.
it gives them
And over
more
here-
room to be humorous, and
Right.
it's a fun comic film.
Yeah,
it really
that's
it
what I
really
mean.
fucking
Yeah,
is.
that's what I mean.
There were a couple of editing moments just were a little choppy.
All right.
There were
All right, come on.
it's the
Do you
guy in
go
the
to
booth.
Ant-Man and the Wasp for the editing?
No,
it's
but
the
like-
guy in the booth changing the reels.
I
Ed.
can't-
Yeah,
That's
but
all.
like there's this the first time Lawrence Fishburne shows up, they just do a cut, and it feels like
They were doing so
there
good.
was a scene where they were explaining something, but it
Oh
probably
my
would have been
God.
repetitive, and it just the way some of it's just handled is choppy. It's little things
All right.
that
Right.
bother only me.
Yeah,
but
of course it does.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm assuming because I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, you were out
so,
for a second.
Did we talk about
We're
Ant-Man?
agreeing, but then he had to
We
throw
talk
his
about
Ed
Ant-Man
moment
and the
in.
Wasp now, right?
Yes.
He knows
Yeah.
it's a kids movie, a family movie, right?
Ed does. Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah. We did. You
All right.
weren't here. Yeah.
Okay.
We covered that. But
No, I'm sorry. I was being sarcastic just because it seems like it's not that kind of movie you get that picky with. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, that's that's good
yeah,
point.
and I had one little nitpick. That's all.
One little one.
It wasn't worth mentioning.
Now everyone's gonna be looking for the weird edit, Ed.
Yeah.
Thanks. You ruined it.
All right, fine.
You fuck. So, Uncle
I
Jay.
didn't see no weird fucking edit. Anyway, what happened? Oh, I have something else in there, right?
Yes.
Yes. So my
Arrow.
friends at Arrow.
Dear friends.
Oh man, I want you to start tagging these guys because I probably their biggest fucking booster. So the master craftsman that is Abel Ferrara.
Okay.
No, I like Abel Ferrara because he's very gritty and he's very street and he's,
Okay.
But there was a film, I don't know if you've seen this, Bill, but there was a film that came out in the mid-'90s called The Addiction.
I'm looking it up.
Now, it was, again, one of his fucking gun-ho, shoot without permits kind of thing.
Right.
But it is fucking darkly, beautifully shot on black and white stock that he did. That Arrow just remastered into this really beautiful Blu-ray. And it stars Lily Taylor, Christopher Walken, Annabella Sciorra, and it is a vampire film. But it's done in a way where it's almost an analogy for heroin addiction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Which I think is brilliant in its own right.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
absolutely.
It's definitely. I mean, it's a this. I'm going to say right now that this film isn't for everyone.
Okay.
It's a long watch.
All right.
But what you're looking at,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, is just this really just surreal kind of nocturnal, fucked up world. And Lily Taylor is an amazing actress. She's just. I always loved her. You know what I mean? As a, just watching movies through the years. And she just plays this, I think she's studying for her PhD. She gets bitten by a vampire. And, but the thing is, it's never really clear on what it is, because you feel it's almost like it's an heroin addiction.
Right. They're playing that aspect of it so
exactly
much up
through
front.
it
Right.
and shit like that.
Yeah, a New York philosophy grad student turns into a vampire after getting bitten by one, and then tries to come to terms with her new lifestyle and frequent craving for human blood.
Right. So she keeps like turning different people, and it's almost like they have a choice to either be a vampire or not. It's totally different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But the way it's
play with
shot,
they
and
play with the mythology.
some
a
of the
little bit.
shots that are in this.
Okay.
And the thing is I remember seeing this years ago, but now that we got 1080p Blu-ray now,
Right.
you know what I mean? To see this remastered, and Abel Ferrara definitely had an eye for urban grittiness.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a director named Julian Schnabel. I don't know if you ever heard of him. The Dragon, Bell and the Butterfly, and
Oh, okay.
The
and-
name,
and
the name
one
of
of
that
those.
sounds familiar. But
anyway, they shot in like his apartment, and there's this one shot because Christopher Walken. You want some good walking?
yeah,
You got the best 10 minutes of walking.
I'm here to suck your blood.
But there's a scene where he
Now-
goes into this building, and he goes into one of those big like freight elevators,
Okay.
and it's like really like fucking run down, but the framing in this shot is just
Right.
so fun. Like what you're looking at
Yeah.
is
yeah,
more like the reason kind of like to watch it, because Abel Ferrara is also fucked up in his own right.
Yeah. Right.
you know,
Sure.
in
There's
his-
some real camera work going
But
on here.
it's-
Some artwork.
You don't want to underestimate Abel Ferrara either.
Right.
You know what I mean? He kind of knows what he's doing and kind of
Right.
knows what he's talking about. This was definitely at a time where he was just totally, get a camera, shoot on get it, and go. With DGA credentials and SAG contacts.
Sure.
Because you got people like Christopher Walken
Yeah, you
saying
got-
yes to it.
Right. Yeah.
So definitely check that out. Arrow just dropped that a couple of weeks ago. There's some great
Extras.
extras on it.
Accoutrement.
Side note, my cousin Matt,
Yes.
okay, his sister is married to the director of photography's cousin of this movie. Ken Kelsch, his name is. Because I spoke to him briefly, and I said, because I was always a fan of Ferrara's movies. China Girl, King of New York,
Sure.
Bad Lieutenant, Fear City was another one. Miss 45. Anybody
All right.
ever seen that?
Miss 45.
Miss
no.
45 is something that needs to be seen.
Okay.
It's about a woman that gets raped twice in a day. And then
Well,
she
that's
goes
not a
out with
good-
and then she goes out with a 45 and just like starts killing people in a nun outfit. That's wonderful.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you need to check that out.
Yes. I think so.
This is definitely kind of the underground urban filmmaking that I like.
Sure.
Definitely check that out. Arrow, you motherfuckers, man.
Did it again.
Oh, you fucking do it again. You are they are the criterion
Right.
of cult filming.
Sure.
Cult films.
Sure.
This is the films you wanted on Criterion.
There you go.
So
I
they said,
like
well,
that.
fuck it. We're going to call it Arrow.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of supplemental materials.
That's good.
So go for that.
The Addiction. Now on Arrow. So, I was looking at it, and it's like it's not ringing any bells for me. I think I got to check that out.
It came and went. It was definitely, 96 was a huge independent film explosion.
Yeah.
In fact, it kind of rocked the Oscars that year. Not that anybody cares, but
No.
it's
But
just
there was that pocket of
it was
time where the indies
Miramax
kinda really,
had their hand in everything,
and everybody wanted to be the next Miramax
Right.
thing. Yeah,
and that's how he got funding for
Sure,
this stuff.
sure.
He just went, look, I'll make a movie for you. and
Yeah,
I'll
I
make it
mean-
look good.
A lot of great stuff came out of that. Just generically in the notes here, it just says a bunch of movies I saw.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, first
Well,
of all?
it's
Before you
28
get in-
films in 4 days.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is this
Yeah,
like a
it's-
marathon binging? Like, what does this mean?
It's been 2 weeks, so it actually should have been a bunch of movies and TV I saw.
Okay.
But I feel like there have been a lot of major releases. We went over 2 of them already.
Okay.
Which is Sicario 2.
Let's power through the
days.
rest. And,
Yeah,
time is of the essence.
I won't spend too much time on this film because I already discussed some of it on the after show.
Doesn't matter. Continue.
Yeah, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Hang on.
I think is dog shit. I think it has some stunning visuals.
We heard you.
But it makes absolutely no sense, and the characters are so these people, they're so goddamn stupid.
Next.
It's so stupid. It does not warrant anything that comes
I
afterwards.
totally disagree.
And it ruins it.
Totally disagree on
Everything that happens, I do not give a shit. I do not care about anything that happens to those people in that movie.
that. Totally disagree. You're being way too hard on that movie. But go ahead.
To me, the Uncle Drew. This is a movie.
Don't fuck yourself.
This is a no. I'm telling
You know what? You know what?
Because
You're
this movie knows exactly what it is.
Okay, fair enough.
So does Jurassic Park.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does,
It does
Ed.
not.
Yes,
it
it
does
does.
not. It starts as Lost World.
full of
then it
shit.
becomes an episode of The
You're-
Blacklist,
you're-
and then it's a horror movie that
And
no one cares about.
Tuya, I don't
Who
care.
cares?
I don't give a fuck about Jurassic Park at all. Nor do I want to sit through a fucking screaming match about it. Of all things. Of all things. I don't want to sit through a screaming match about that movie.
Uncle Drew is hilarious characters.
Okay, it's fun. It's funny.
that you identify with. It's basically like a Blues Brothers type on the
Oh,
road.
you gotta give me.
Let's
a
get the band back together with
Right.
with some fun basketball scenes, some great in jokes if you know who these players are.
Right.
Especially some like really fun performances from Shaquille O'Neal and Chris Webber. Chris Webber like almost steals this movie.
Yeah, I don't know who these people are.
I don't either.
I'm like, they sound familiar, and I'm like, he's a DJ,
Yeah.
right?
It is.
But go on.
If you have a chance, I would recommend go see Uncle Drew. It's a
Okay.
fun time. Best comedy that's out now. That's out right now.
All
Best
right.
straight up comedy.
Says you. But go on.
Yeah, and
Yeah, remember that. Says Ed.
Says Ed.
yeah, and but the best movie this summer so far, and
Says you.
I don't think that this is going to be topped, is Incredibles 2.
Okay.
It is the most complete.
People love that.
It is the most complete film I've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
Every character gets a moment. Every character gets a moment, and they have a full story arc, and it's in depth, and you could follow who they are, and they're fun to watch.
Okay.
You know, and the story. You know, I think it's a complete story. Just the way that they build the narrative and bring everything into it, and really, really incredible visuals. The train scene and everything that they do in the ending scene. Incredibles 2. That's like if there's like only one movie that you see this year so far, Incredibles 2. Like High and Might, it's not even fucking close.
All right.
Not even close.
All right.
Like go see it.
I have to see it just to see if what he's talking about
Like,
is out of
just-
his,
oh.
he has his
This
head
is
up his
not
own
the-
ass.
This is not the first time I'm hearing that about that
Yeah.
movie. though.
No.
But there's a
that's
scene
true.
with Baby Jack and a raccoon
Say no more.
that will
say
you
no
will-
more.
You will
Literally say.
die.
Literally, you had
You
to say
will
more.
die.
I said, don't say anymore.
Yeah.
And you just fucking heard to fucking say more. Thomas K agrees with you. Incredibles 2 is great,
yes.
but only he's only agreeing with you on that.
Yeah.
All right. So
Uh,
all right. Well, that's what we all figured with that movie.
Yeah. So those are movies. To TV shows, I caught up on Marvel's Runaways.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that. I only have 2 episodes left in Jessica Jones season 2,
Okay.
and 1 episode left in Channel Zero season 3.
Ooh, spooky. Channel
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, yeah.
I'm actually interested in hearing what he has to say about Jessica Jones season 2. After how we both felt about it.
Yeah, I'm a little
It's okay.
blank on it right now. So basically, James says, so Ed says that Incredibles 2 will sweep every category at the Oscars. Is basically, I think that's how he's interpreting your love of that.
I mean, I don't know because I mean it's different standards there.
It's different.
yeah.
Don't run with it. It
No,
was a
no.
joke. Don't
Yeah.
give it any merit. It was a joke.
Okay.
It was a joke. You don't feed the dragons.
All right. Fine.
You know, unless you add more puns to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
you know what I mean. All right. So we got some emails. I don't know if you kids remember email.
No.
But it's a thing we do. We read them. We read them live on the show because that's technology, and that's how that works. Oof. So this one's from Benny Livewire. Benny says, "Hi, Wicked Theory. Hope you guys are well, and Uncle Jay isn't hungover too much. I figure it's been a while since I've sent in one of my mediocre film reviews to your show. Well, at least he's being honest. I went and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp yesterday, and I must say Marvel Studios have hit it out of the ballpark once again. This film was all you want in a blockbuster. The story's fantastic. The pacing was top-notch. The villain was great and tied in well with the narrative of the story. I fell in love with Wasp, just a little. She's smart, intelligent, and stands well on her own in battle.
I'll second that. I was in love with her, too.
Yeah, you get a little
And
spitting.
it doesn't hurt that she's Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, I was going to
Yes.
say, I've been a little smitten since Lost. Like any other superhero female should in today's world, really. That's what he says. Michael Douglas must not retire anytime soon and just keep making films. He's great to watch. Lawrence Fishburne was fine. His character tried to act tough, but was more wimpy than anything. This guy's getting a little into it. So I'll try not to ruin some stuff here a little bit. Leave some surprises in for people. Though he's not a big fan of de-aging. I'll just leave it at that. I rate this film a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 working ants. I see what he's doing there. By the way, you don't have to wait too long after the film to enjoy the bonus scenes. And it's a good one, too. Love the show, guys. Thanks. And we say thank you, Benny.
Thank you, Betty.
Thank you, Benny.
Thanks.
Benny.
Benny.
Benny, next-
Benny and the Jets.
The Benster. Bennerino.
Benny boy. The Benny boy.
The Beninator.
So next one here is from James in the chat room. That same one. He says, the subject line is double fucking fuck you, Jay, with a bitch on top, son.
Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
All right, well, since you two are getting
With
along
two
so well.
cock-smoking whores on top.
This guy loves to stir it up. I agree with Jay on Jurassic World. It was a great movie. One thing that I think, though, is that a great reveal at the end, and it kind of throws me into a conundrum. Why Daniel says are that hard to, or simply cannot be reliably controlled. Well, if I continue, it's a spoiler, but I think that animates, I don't know what he's getting into. Spielberg Jurassic Park was awesome and still stands today as a great movie. It went there the way it should have, with introducing us to the dinosaurs in a truly awe-inspiring way, and without it, we wouldn't have good sequels in spite of the bad ones. I tried doing a show voicemail from my phone. Bill knows it did nothing. Yeah, I was trying to figure out why that happened. I'm wondering why. I don't know. Hopefully it worked for other folks. Yeah, people, try out the voicemail thing on the website. I think, it's going to record from whatever device you're using. It should anyway. So, I don't know if it means it's got to turn on your microphone. Like sometimes, it'll be like, do you want to allow this thing to access your phone?
Yeah.
I don't know. Settings are all set up. But anyway, hopefully Ed is there and this fucking guy. Hopefully Ed is there and can answer my question. How the fuck do you go to watch every goddamn artsy-fartsy bullshit movie you can find and not watch the good ones like Sicario? Oh, wait, I can answer this. Yeah, I know. I can answer this myself. You're Ed. So I need a real question. But, lo and behold, I think we kind of touched on it last week, was that Ed actually put out the word, like, hey, do I have to go see Sicario 1 before 2? And the recommendation was yes.
Well, see, I didn't agree with that statement at all.
Which one?
Well, the statement was that Ed asked me if I should see Sicario 1 to watch Sicario 2.
Right. Oh, you don't think you
I
have
don't
to?
as if Ed is a movie guy, I think that question answers itself.
Okay, so you do kind of agree with that, okay.
You see the first film.
Right,
That doesn't
right.
fucking matter if it, you know what I mean? If
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to see Indiana Jones. You don't need to see Raiders of the Lost Ark to watch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, but it's fucking
Yeah.
helps
Yeah.
to know the characters.
Sure,
And
sure,
I
sure,
think
sure.
that
I think
that's
that's
just that answers itself.
Yeah.
It's a dumb question, is what I'm saying. From coming from you, if it was somebody else, I would say yeah. But he's a movie guy.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was going to be an isolated story or not. That's all.
It doesn't matter. You should have seen that already.
Okay.
It's like one of those movies people would
Yeah.
give me shit for not seeing.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
It's
But
one of
it's
those
different.
ones. I always meant to see it. It just flew under the radar. That's all.
So then you go watch it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You go watch it and then watch it.
He did.
Exactly.
He did. We're stirring up bullshit.
Yeah,
This
and
is absolutely
I
a
did.
non-conversation.
I plucked down $4 in Amazon to watch it. Yeah, it was nice.
Well, I don't know. That might have been a lot.
It was worth the $4, right, Ed?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, he says, so after all that, he's like, so what I need to do is have a real question. Are you ready to bring it during the after show? Because Live PD is off this week, and I'm depending on y'all to entertain my drunk ass tonight, since I don't have, that thing I watch where idiots just getting arrested. Like, no.
I don't know if any one
Like-
of us is going to get arrested.
like-
If that's what you're saying.
Like, I'm such as just like the anti guy. Like, now I don't want to do an after show for you. Like, it's like, when people like put too much on me, I'm like, well, no.
What are you gonna put?
Jump through hoops for me.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, go fuck
What are
yourself.
you gonna pull an Andy Kaufman? just start reading The Great Gatsby.
I'm just gonna fucking leave the fucking mics
Just-
on, and we'll just all go out for food.
Just do audio of you like chewing on
I'll just leave this. I'll just leave this on a loop.
cheese and crackers.
Wonderful. You see what happens, James?
See now he's in the chat. He's going, entertain me. This is not entertaining. Are you not entertained? So, P.S. You don't have to go get arrested to compete. I'm just let's not do a crossover of those two shows.
You know what, James? We'll do a one-on-one one day, and then we'll just
Yeah.
air
A
it.
one-on-one where it's just you're
The two-
one and he's one,
yeah.
and that's it.
And we'll just go back and forth, and we'll have drinks as we're going. You know what I mean? We'll start from minute 1.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
And see what happens by minute 47.
By minute 47.
Yeah.
All right. Hey. Okay. Just you gonna record
But
this?
there
I
will
guess?
be, but I won't be cutting it with any kind of soda. I'll be going
just
hard.
Just straight.
I do it for the show. You
You
understand?
guys gonna like Skype this session
I
and then
do
go
it for
shot
Bill.
for shot? You guys gonna go shot for shot? Like,
Well, if it gets to that point, yeah.
well, I think that's the thing. Maybe you guys should pace. Like you're going at the same, whatever the pace is. You guys should be at the same. Like, all right, it's been a minute. Like it's or whatever. Like you drink at the same time.
But
same
James, you shouldn't make it every time I say the word "fuck" because you and I will both be gone by fucking by the 7th minute.
That's not safe to put that into a drinking game of any kind for this show.
What if instead of just fuck, maybe it was like just every time you said motherfuck?
Yeah, something like that.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll work it out. We'll work it out.
Oh, like we were
I
talking
like
about the
James.
drinking
James
game
is a
with
good guy, man. I wish I can
Luke.
hang him.
Yeah, right. So the next one here is from Young
Slayer!
Now, which Wes is this? We got 2 of them now.
Well, we only got one Wesley Gaskin.
Wes. Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley Gaskin.
He better be reporting on how awesome his concert was yesterday. He was at the Leonard Skinner
Fog
38
hat,
38
cheap
special.
trick.
He missed Foghat.
Whatever. Did you see what I wrote?
I told him. I didn't see that. Did you see what I wrote?
No.
I said, so I guess you just took a slow ride and took it easy on the way there.
What's wrong with Foghat?
Nothing.
I'm talking to Bill.
Yeah, I texted him because he put up a tweet of the list, and I was like, "Did you have to get in a time machine to go see these guys?" So he says, "Hey, you gentlemen, what character casting most annoyed you?" And then he's got another question. So, what character casting? I mean,
And what?
like character, like just from something adapted, I guess he means.
Oh, this is on record for me.
Oh, what is yours? then?
Is Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze?
That is a pretty good one. That is a pretty good one.
Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
That's pretty good. That's fair. I mean, like to a
Tommy
degree,
Lee
but
Jones as Two-Face.
See, but no, those two are good ideas. Like,
right.
Like, I wanted fugitive Tommy Lee Jones, not Natural Born Killers Tommy Lee Jones.
right. I can see that. I can see where you're going with that a little bit. But
I like Natural Born Killers, Tommy Lee Jones.
I do too, just not as Two-Face.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I agree with that.
Yeah. He was more. Everybody was more comic booky than they needed to be in that movie.
Yeah.
Let's just leave that at that.
Mhm.
But it's funny how they all come from the same fucking
movie.
You know what I mean? But character casting that most annoyed you. I don't know. I would need more time to think about it. I'm sure there's something that's it's just not coming to my crow because I've been known to be a little picky with that shit.
Even like one of the 7 crows that haven't been made.
Well, all of that then. Anybody since the death of Brandon Lee basically has annoyed me.
Really quick, the only thing that comes to mind that I had a problem with, it's going back now, but when they made Thinner into a film,
Okay.
Robert John Burke played him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember because I had just read that book.
Oh, okay. That's a
You know what I mean?
context thing.
I
Yeah,
had
get that
just read that book, and that's the problem with
Yeah.
adaptations is the fact that you are already creating your own movie when
Yep.
you're watching, when you're reading these books.
Yeah, yeah.
So whatever you've concocted into your mind, it's never going to be as good as what they
No.
bring.
And especially not if you like lock down, like in your headspace,
You know what I
like
mean?
the visual of maybe an actor or somebody who's real in a way, like you know what I mean? Yeah.
And actually, Thinner is a really good Stephen King novel. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I
It
actually
is.
think
That's an
it's
excellent
really
story.
good. And I always thought, like, because this is now the early 90s, and I'm thinking, like, oh, this would be great if, like, De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer did this. You know what I mean? Because De Niro could put on the weight and lose it in a matter of time.
There was an
That-
era where he was willing to
You know
do
what I
that.
mean? So when you find out that it actually became, like, you know, this lower budgeted film.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it was kind of silly. But the fact of
Yeah.
the matter is that I went to see a screening of it.
Okay.
I saw an actual rough cut of the film, and that's my first and last interpretation of the film.
Okay.
I went back and watched it again on Blu-ray.
Okay. Saw a
You
lot
know
of
what I mean?
changes.
Well, the ending was different. I was like, oh, fuck, what
Oh,
happened?
okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because in the cut that I saw, the Joe Mantegna character, the gangster character, they kill him in that.
Joe Montana.
But he, well, Joe Mantegna.
Yeah. What's going on?
And I thought that was kind of like the way they killed him was stupid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, no, that character wouldn't die like that. You know what I mean? He's too much of a fucking goomba.
Yeah.
And they don't. And in this, you know, so it's
Fair.
different.
Okay.
So it is what it is. Thinner is what it is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's fun, but it could have been done better.
Yeah.
But I thought that the guy they got
You know what?
was
And
miscast.
You know what? It makes me think, and it makes me remember. You know who I really didn't like? I never liked the guy in the TV version of The Stand. The only guy I didn't like in that whole thing was the guy who played Randall Flagg.
Sheridan, Jamie Sheridan.
Yeah, I really didn't
Yeah.
dig on him much, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I get why they saw him, and I get the menace. Like he kind of sold menace a little bit, but just it was a visual and a very much of his mannerisms maybe or something like that. But I was not feeling it. I was not feeling it from him because I had read that
didn't.
book and absorbed and was obsessed with that book, and he did not exude like pure evil to me with every second.
And they really fucking tried with that cast.
And that might be a lot to ask. Don't get me wrong. Like I get like that's a kind of a lot to ask for a TV movie, but
the thing is like they
Yeah.
even tried with that cast because
Oh,
they
yeah.
did get like
got-
Sinise.
they got Sinise, Molly Ringwald.
Well,
Rob Lowe.
but
that was
at the
that was-
time, yes, I understand.
But this was great for TV at the time, absolutely.
But I
Right.
mean, Ed
Rob
Harris
Lowe.
was briefly in it at
Yeah,
one
that's right,
point,
that's
and
right. Miguel Ferrer.
you know, Ruby
Yeah.
D is iconic.
Headroom.
Yeah. But again, for the time, these were constant working
This was
theatrical
great,
actors.
and this was great casting.
Laura
Yeah.
San Giacomo was in it
Yeah.
too, and so yeah, they really tried to at least bring this something big.
Right. Yes.
So I really would like to see like a Netflix or an HBO of the entire text of The Stand, including the extended.
Yeah.
stories.
I would like that too. What is your favorite song that is less known by your favorite band? So if you got a favorite band and it's like, hey, like I really love REM, but they got this one song called Low.
I was a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble guy,
Sure.
and I felt like
You
you know
couldn't st- you
they
couldn't
only
stand
played
the
the
weather?
same. They only played the same 3 songs on the radio.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah,
All his shit is just phenomenal.
yeah,
You know what I
right,
mean?
exactly.
So I feel like if you really want to hear some good fucking music, just get his catalog.
Yeah.
And there's only maybe 5 or 6 CDs.
Yeah.
But you can't go wrong with any one of them.
Yeah, and I'd say like I'll totally agree with you, and I'd say like you know what, like those radio hits are great, but there are numerous tracks on every one of those albums that will blow you away much more than those radio hits will.
Just about anything he ever played guitar on is
Yes.
phenomenal.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
he even did a David Bowie dance song.
Even when he's
Right.
all fucked up in a bad way, and you feel bad for him on stage,
Oh,
and
he's-
he's in the bad stage of his,
Eight
his
Ball?
life.
Yeah, and he's still nailing Scuttlebutton.
Like, oh my God, like, you know.
He can barely stand, but that song, he's still.
You know what I mean?
Real quick, really, you know, if you guys like heavy metal out there, I always said Testament's The Ritual and Testament's Low, which are
Yes,
two
yes.
consecutive albums.
Yes.
Fair enough.
92 and 94 those
Yeah.
came out. You can't, I mean, if that's the heavy metal albums that are in your fucking house,
Sure.
you can't go wrong.
Right,
or it's
right,
a
right,
phenomenal
right.
start.
Right.
So, because that's perfect. Perfect.
Perfect.
Electric Crown? Come on.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. I have both of those CDs.
Ed,
Yeah.
do you have a favorite song that is less known? From your
Richard
fam-
Cheese is what?
What's one of his lesser known songs that you just love?
Well, what I see. It's
Or
funny.
is it something from Gershwin?
It's probably something from.
Is it Man of La Mancha?
No, it's probably something from Aperitif for Destruction.
Something from that album.
Yeah, I mean his Welcome to the Jungle. I don't think anyone talks about
Right.
a lot, but that one in particular, I really
Right.
like.
I'm a big fan, like Weird Al on every album. Like every album is like loaded with parodies or genre parodies. Like it's an
Yeah.
original song, but
But-
it's done in a specific genre to a specific thing.
Yeah.
So he's got a song, One More Minute with You, which I'm a big fan of.
Mm.
I'll just leave that out there for people.
Okay.
You know, don't sleep on the Weird Al side tracks. That's coming. That's basically what I'm
Like
saying.
Yoda? Remember Yoda?
Oh my God, yeah.
I want to
it
hear
all
that
over?
now.
First thing that came to mind with this question was Iron Maiden,
Okay.
first album, first CD, Transylvania.
Oh, God. Bill. That's phenomenal.
Jay's mind right now is just blown. Jay can't handle it.
So it's a totally different. If you have any idea what Maiden is, but you don't go back that far,
Right,
this
right,
is very
right.
different than
Okay.
what they were and became. You know, this is the first singer. This is a very different style. Didn't get into the galloping thing yet. So
Wrathchild.
just remember, they started in '79. So they started like right at the very, very beginning of the new wave of British heavy metal. So it went through several changes.
All right. I can dig it. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for the main show. I think, right? I mean, I think we hit all the posts, right? I mean, we talked some news. We talked. What did we learn today? Did we learn anything today?
Listen, we tangentially touched
Yeah, a lot of things.
on some of the things that people should be listening to in form
Yeah.
of music.
Yeah.
There's a lot more out there.
Oh, I mean, like I think that was, one of the things I did last night was actually on the Friday Night Mic Test thing, which is on the show reel if people want to go check it out. I actually just started pulling out songs that are like I really like that I know most people don't know or don't like, and they're from like it's like granted it's some like They Might Be Giants shit is in there and some Gorillas and stuff, but it's like tracks that I think like if people didn't know. Like, oh, okay, that's a pretty interesting, different kind of a sound. I didn't know those guys did that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of thing. I'm going for, like, some B-side stuff that's, like, out of pocket. Like,
Right.
out of expected pocket. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Because that's the shit I love. I love it when I listen to an album and it's like, the one song like a lot of people probably might hate, I might actually like because it's such a left turn. Like,
Right.
I kind of dig that shit sometimes on an album.
Like the things that piss me off about the radio. You know what I mean? See, the thing
Yeah.
is, like, every AC/DC song sounds the same.
Sure.
However, you still play the same fucking four songs.
Right.
It's Hell's Bells for those about to rock and fucking You Shook Me All Night Long.
That's it.
Play Flick of the fucking switch.
They don't play balls enough. They don't.
Big
But you're right,
balls. You know what I mean?
My balls are always
Yeah,
bouncing.
or like I said, Flick of the Switch was a album that didn't do well for them.
Right.
But it's a kick-ass fucking album that they should fucking play.
I love New York City.
Give
I
it-
love,
yeah.
I feel safe in New York City.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
play the same fucking four songs.
Here's the thing. They play the same. This is the thing I always say. They play the same four groups And from each one of those 4 or 5 groups, they play the same 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? That's how it feels.
That's
and
it.
Maybe the number's a little wider on the groups, but it's not wider on the song selection. Like, you know what I mean? You're getting 3 songs from U2, despite the fact that they got a 20-year career. You're still getting, 30 years or whatever. You're still getting Streets Have No Name and, like the other big hit, like, from 1985. It's like, stop trying to make me feel like it's 1985.
Right.
I know these guys have new shit that, like, no one's listening to, but, like, why don't you guys try and support them a little
Because
bit?
they're afraid to
Yeah.
actually play something different because
Right.
they feel that they're going to lose these listeners.
Right.
And that's what's pissing me off.
That's the thing. What I love about, like, some of the stations I've managed to find that aren't too afraid, like, but that's the thing. The station has to be built around, we do new music. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, not for nothing, like, my interest range is pretty wide. So for me, a station I found online is KEXP in Seattle, which they really run the gamut over there. So, you know who Alabama Shakes is?
I've heard of it, yes.
Okay, so that's a particular kind of sound, and if you know who Macklemore is,
Yes,
like, you know what I mean.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a particular kind. But I found both these things on that station
Right.
before they were big. So they have a lot of artists come in. They have a lot of videos online of people playing live in studio, but it's almost like genre doesn't really matter, except like they don't go hard metal, but like really kind of like people on the upcome who are like like different and unique sounds that are gonna like. This motherfucker's probably not gonna fucking make it big, and they fucking should. Like that
Yeah.
they're gonna get like held back a little bit.
It's kind of like what SOU did for rock.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if you guys got that over here. Did you get 105.5, which was SOU?
Yeah. DHA.
DHA,
was
yeah.
105.5.
Kind of like what they did.
SOU is at the other end.
'Cause they would play-
89.5.
It's 89.5, yeah.
They would play deep cuts on the regular, all metal and rock. I'm
DHA
talking.
does that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
DHA weirds me out because I'm like, oh, I don't know this track at all. I'm trying to figure out who it is first. You
That
know?
was the beauty of that.
But that was the beauty of it. It's like, oh, I can tell this is like The Clash or some other band that I know from
But
a
a
million
deep cut you never heard before.
Because
mostly,
it's like a thing like I only know them from 3 songs. I don't
Right.
have these fucking albums.
Right.
So as we wind it up,
So the Wicked Theory podcast is going to spin off. We're going to do a radio.
we're gonna do
music show.
music chatter.
There we go.
I guess Ed's staying home.
What?
What? Okay. Oh, well, that's what we'll do it as the musical educating of Edward O'Hare, because that's our excuse, right? To kind of like constantly throw new music down his throat. Or do we? But he's not allowed to opinionize
The
about
shit
it.
Bob
right?
and I listen to, he might get scared. So we got to
Well,
ease
I-
it down.
I might have to temper it with other selections.
He's
myself.
not ready for Rain and
He's not
Blood.
ready for Slayer.
He's not
Dead
ready for
Skin.
Rain and Blood.
Or
I think he'd
Exodus.
like Dead Skin Mask. That's a great song.
It is an excellent song.
We'll give him the Tori Amos cover of Rain and Blood.
Pretty good though.
kick him
It's
off.
pretty good.
It
though.
is actually
I like
cool.
some Tori Amos first album.
So,
Okay.
I understand. I'm just
I
saying.
understand. Little earthquakes. All right. That's all I'm gonna say.
She did an album of just covers, and she covered.
Yeah, a lot of cool shit. She did the weird,
It was Rain and Blood, and
Yeah.
Angie,
and she's like, I like this stuff.
oh, it smells like,
Metallica.
it smells like Teen Spirit.
Yeah,
she
and she's
did,
like,
too.
I like this stuff. I don't know why. It's like, well, because you don't play anything that
I met
feels
her
like that.
I
you
met
know?
her at VH1.
Yeah.
Very gentle.
Oh, you would think so.
Blessed be.
Well,
She's very
yeah.
gothic. She's
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
or
yeah.
very what's the Wiccan?
New age,
Wiccan,
new agey, kind of Wiccan-ish
Yes,
in a
exactly.
sense, without being Wiccan.
Almost hippie-ish.
Yeah.
Not
modern
even. It's more like
Earth Mother-y
Right.
kind of thing, but not. That would be being too specific in a way, but it is like.
you don't want to fuck with her. Because something happens.
Yeah, yeah,
Something's
yeah.
going to happen.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem with getting to know Tori is that there's some baggage.
But it's a clear sign that she actually touches out the different kinds of music
Right.
and brings that into her circle. I admire that. And on that note,
And on that note, kids, so we're going to take a quick break. If you're listening live, don't go anywhere. We're going to come back with the after show, which was, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then, the fun will continue. But this is where we wrap up the main show. So if you're listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, something like that, you do miss out on the after show unless you happen to support us over on Patreon. And that's the way to keep the show alive, folks, because, not for nothing.
well, we're not going anywhere. We're coming back in a couple minutes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. We're not going anywhere. We're coming back. I'm trying to segue into a little promo of the Patreon. But, all right, since it got stepped on, I'm out. All right, Brother Bob, take us out of here.
With Twitter handles.
No one gives a shit about where we are on Twitter. But Uncle Jay, where are you on Twitter?
I'm at Walden Books. Uncle Jay's thing. On the Twitters.
I'm at Edward O'Hare TBD.
All right, Brother Bob.
At Bob WTPC.
Nice. And I'm at Wicked Theory. The show's at wickedtheory.com. And anywhere good podcasts are given away for free. Brother Bob, play it like you mean it, like you love it.
See you in a few short minutes, people.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.